the coaching staff. He was asked about, hey, do we need to, have you thought about changing responsibilities? And he said, we do that from game to game. And he's like, we look at changing coaching responsibilities weekly, which is kind of crazy. Obviously, the point of the question was, hey, when is Pat Shurmur getting fired?
Yeah, that's the question right there. Is Pat Shurmur going to be off this team?
It was worded like in a good way. Obviously, it's a good question that the underlying theme is, hey, Pat Shurmur sucks at his job. And he's like, well, we have these coordinators who analyze this stuff and we look at all the time and we just got to get right. And the patience thing is really interesting. And then in that video we just showed, he says, I don't have patience. Well, no, he didn't have patience in 2023 when they were 4-5 and struggling and their offense was struggling. And he decided to strip Sean Lewis of his play calling duties and hand them to Pat Shurmur. 2 years later, they're about to be in the exact same spot. They're either going to be 4-5 again or they're going to be 3-6. Their offense is terrible. Their offense is 107th in the FBS. Where's the change this year? Is he gonna be patient because Pat Shurmur's his buddy? Or is he gonna not be patient, like he said, because he lost his patience, and make the right decision and maybe hand play calling duties to Byron Leftwich for the rest of the season? It's funny, like he says this stuff, but he's always going to look out for his buddies, and Pat Shurmur is one of his best friends. Everybody here in Broncos country had no idea why they brought Pat Shurmur in, and because Pat Shurmur was terrible with the Broncos, not to mention all 800 offenses that he led into the mud before in the NFL. So the patience, he says he doesn't have any, but as long as Pat Shurmur is on that staff, I'm not going to believe him, because it seems like he's willing to be as patient as can be to let the guy who's been leading miserable offenses for 2 decades figure it out.
Okay, Trent, getting fired up. I like it. Saying what needs to be said. It's honest. It's very true. Pat Shurmur is maybe the worst thing to happen to CU, at least in the past couple seasons. It's really bad what's happening up there. And yeah, if he wants to prove that he's not patient, like he just said, he'll have to make a change. But I doubt that'll happen.